Well, I think if you wanted to take a look at Fort McMurray before the fires came in, we were looking at definitely a declining market up there. There were a lot of people that were, had lost their jobs and were just hanging on by the skin of their teeth in the form of trying to keep their living up there. We were looking at rental rates almost being cut in half on new leases, and starting to see some vacancy up there as well. Now, with this absolute catastrophe that has happened up there and the devastation, I'm thinking that some of that vacancy, of course, is now going to be absorbed. It's going to take a long time to rebuild that community. But again, Albertans, we've got a lot of grit, and that is a very important piece of Alberta. So we'll dig in and we'll make it happen as a group, as a team. Right across Alberta, we're seeing Canada stepping in and supporting that community. Edmonton typically has got a bit of a lag because we aren't the first people in. We're not the engineers and whatnot. We're more on the service side. We also have the university, public sectors, education and healthcare. Also with the downtown development, that has really helped to offset a lot of the job losses that we've had. They've been replaced with those construction jobs that have been fulfilled downtown. How long that will carry on is hard to say. At the end of the day, we are a resource-based province, so that's sort of our bread and butter. So with the volatility in the market around that, it's a wait and see game. Edmonton crew, I can't say enough good things about them. Just an absolutely fantastic group of women. I think that it just comes down to the first people that stepped forward to establish crew in Edmonton, and I think also just realizing the value behind it. So you had this group of women that didn't really have their own group before. We were used to walking into a room of men and trying to squeeze your way into these circles, and now we had a group, and so there was just a lot of value that was formed, I think, amongst the crew women in Edmonton, and a lot of belief behind it. For me, it's offered me some amazing opportunities, and also just getting to know people, the mentorship side of things. We've got some very strong women in our Edmonton crew chapter. So, and everybody wants to be a part of it, and everybody wants to help and make it better. And we talk about doing business with one another and supporting one another. And it's more a community of how can I help you? So not how can you help me, but how can I help you? And then that just seems to come full circle. I got involved actually fairly early on, and I just happened to know somebody that was a part of crew, and got invited to some events, and I got to know a lot of people, and the events were fantastic. There was a large lending base and lawyer base, which is right up my alley, where people that I'm dealing with on a regular basis. And then again, coming to things like the real estate forum, when you walk into a room and now suddenly you've got people that you can point out then and go and gravitate to. And then beyond that, it's just become a great resource. As I've stepped outside of Edmonton crew and gone out to crew network events in the United States, you really start to see the power of this group. I feel like I could call somebody down in Phoenix if we're looking at property there, or if we're looking, if I'm wondering what are the tax implications of investing in a certain state in the United States. I know that I could call up absolutely anybody, and they would connect me with somebody that could help me out. I think that you're seeing more women stepping into CFO positions on the financial side, but when you're looking at CEO and COO positions, those are, I think, still a little bit strained, and it's challenging. Some of it has to do with, I think, the sponsorship of women and getting them up into those positions. But the other side of it is that I don't know that as many women are stretching to be in those positions. Women, if women are having children, then they tend to be wanting to be with their families at home a little bit more, and are more satisfied with, let's say, a VP position. That's not to say that that's not going to change. I think that culturally we're going through a bit of a change as more women are, getting educated, and when we have more women getting degrees than what men are nowadays. So just on the skill side of things, women are learning to take more risks, and and also getting more sponsorship from men and women in higher level positions. I'm kind of scattered and all over the place. I don't like to stay in and doing the same thing over and over. I just happen to fall into a position where the president of the company that I work for, he was a person that was willing to offer opportunity to anybody that wanted it. So I did a lot of asking. Can I attend this? Can I try something new? And he was very receptive to that. But I think that the most important part was that when I actually got to a point where I was starting to make decisions, he had my back. So it was, even if I was going to make a mistake, it was I have your back, we make mistakes, we learn from them, but just keep the dialogue open. So I think having that person that mentored me and was willing to put the time in to teach me new things and allow me to try new things, and feeling safe in doing that was a huge factor in getting to getting to be where I am today. So I'm grateful for that, and I hope that we see more of that. And I think it's really that support piece that is so very important when we're looking at leadership, just in general. Making sure that our leaders are supporting and encouraging everybody to try new things and take risks.